Good morning, everyone. I am Jessica Turner, president of the Outdoor Recreation Roundtable. ORR is the leading national coalition of outdoor recreation trade associations representing the entire outdoor recreation economy in over 110,000 American businesses. Thank you so much for joining us, what we call our industry's Christmas Day, when we get this BEA data release from the Department of Commerce, Bureau of Economic Analysis, that showcases outdoor recreation's powerful and positive impact on the US economy. Unfortunately, Senator Hassan wasn't able to join us today because of family emergency, but we have a compelling group of speakers today, including Christy LaCurelle, President and CEO of the Motorcycle Industry Council, U.S. Department of Commerce's Bureau of Economic Analysis economist Stas Resnick and Connor Franks, Twanmoh, Head of Brand Engagement at AllTrails, Dr. Nathan Rigner, Director of Outdoor Recreation for Pennsylvania Office of Outdoor Recreation and Chair of the Confluence of States, and Glenn Hughes, President of the American Sportfishing Association and Board Chair for ORR. However, I won't bury the lead of these long-awaited numbers. The top line numbers from 2024 for the outdoor recreation economy show that we are a $1.3 trillion economy with our economic output. That's 2.4% of GDP and 5.2 million American jobs, equating to 3.2% of all US employment. Hear from our presenters today on what this means for their segments of the industry, the entire recreation economy, states, and the nation. And today's data announcement really underscores that the outdoor recreation industry remained a huge economic driver, even while growth flattened due to slowing down past the pandemic. That tracks with the headwinds we've all felt and still feel from inflation and high interest rates, supply chain friction, and shifting household budgets. We know that in 2024, the demand to get outside remained high with positive participation trends across all forms of outdoor recreation, but affordability and uncertainty weighed on purchases and trips. These trends are still being experienced today. Wallets are thinner, trips are shorter, and purchases are fewer. Looking at our world, starting off in 2026, right now in March, the outdoor recreation economy faces our headwinds. Many small businesses have absorbed inflation as long as they could. Their margins grew tighter with trade uncertainty, and we need near-term policy action to increase certainty around our supply chains and outdoor access. We need investments in outdoor recreation infrastructure to keep the sustainable, resilient, job-creating sector moving forward. This means reauthorizing and strengthening Legacy Restoration Fund to modernize our infrastructure across all categories of outdoor recreation and accelerate high-value projects nationwide that bring revenue back to local communities. It means fully implementing the Bipartisan Explore Act that passed last year to expand access, innovation, public-private partnerships. It means recognizing outdoor recreation as essential infrastructure for our public health and community well-being and lowering healthcare costs through access to outdoor recreation. Preserving access to public lands and waters continues to remain a priority for all of us. Thinking about this as a high return national investment, as our newly released report shows, $350 million a day from outdoor recreation on federal lands alone go into the outdoor recreation economy. We need to fully fund the Recreational Trails Program, which is funded by off-road users, to support diverse trails and rural economies. And we need to reduce regulatory headwinds and increase certainty for our outdoor recreation businesses through trade stability and tax incentives. We need to strengthen our federal and state coordination. We're so excited to have our state offices of outdoor recreation join in this conversation and see the recreation economies grow across the nation. As always, we'll break down what's up, what's down, what it means for communities, economies, and different segments of the outdoor industry as we move forward. So please visit our website and check out our newsletters for that upcoming information. I'll now turn to Christy LaCurelle, President and CEO of Motorcycle Industry Council and Vice Chair of the ORR Board, to introduce our special guest speakers from BEA.
Thank you, Jess. Great to be here this morning. Outdoor recreation is such a fun topic to speak about. You know, coming to work today, knowing this is what we're going to talk about, that's a pretty fun job to have. Love to hear that the number has gone up, $1.3 trillion economy now, which, as you heard Jess mention, supports millions of jobs, you know, fueling our rural development, and probably my favorite part, improving the physical and mental well-being of people across the country. I'm proud to sit here today representing ORR as it brings together leaders from across the outdoor recreation industries to ensure our public lands and waters remain accessible, sustainable, and beneficial for all. ORR's priorities match that of the power sports associations that I represent. having advancing balanced policies that help conserve natural resources while expanding access and opportunities for recreation. Our power sports associations are working to ensure continued federal funding and authorization of the Recreational Trails Program. That program provides dedicated support for trail maintenance, development, and access nationwide. At the same time, we're working with lawmakers and agency officials to protect riding opportunities on local and federal lands, mainly through thoughtful policy engagement, monitoring of legislation affecting off-highway vehicle use, and promotion of safety training and education. Outdoor recreation is more than an activity to us. It's a driver of community health, environmental stewardship, and economic vitality. Today's presentation from the BEA will further illustrate the powerful role the outdoor recreation industry plays in America's economy. So let's get to the data. It's my pleasure to introduce two of the US BEA economists, Stas Resnick and Connor Franks.
Thank you, Christy. My name is Stas Resnick. I'm one of the team members who works on outdoor recreation here at the Bureau of Economic Analysis. I'm pleased to go over the highlights of the 2024 data release that just came out this morning. Looking at our first slide for outdoor recreation, repeating what Jessica has mentioned already, outdoor recreation was $1.3 trillion in 2024, using gross output, which is a sales type number. Looking at outdoor recreation as a share of GDP, we had 2.4%, and that is using BEA's standard measure of the economy, which is GDP. Outdoor recreation wage and salary workers associated with outdoor recreation were 5.2 million, and that is 3.2% of US wage and salary jobs. Looking at some of the growth rates in outdoor recreation on our next slide, we have growth rate for outdoor recreation in, could you change to the next slide, Chris? Oh, nope, one back. Well, the outdoor recreation economy grew at 2.7% of the economy. Outdoor recreation grew at 2.7%, which is just about the overall 2.8% growth rate in the US economy overall. And that's using measures that adjust for inflation. Jobs growth in outdoor recreation was the same as the overall US jobs growth rate of 1.1%. Looking at our outdoor recreation activities in our next slide, we have boating and fishing being the top core outdoor recreation activity with $38.4 billion in value added. We also had next in line RVing at $27.5 billion, hunting, shooting, and trapping at $16.5 billion, motorcycling and ATVing, $11.4 billion, and climbing, hiking, and tent camping at $7.8 billion. Three of our top activities were also our top growing activities: hunting, shooting, and trapping, climbing, hiking, and tent camping, and motorcycling and ATVing were growing at 16.5%, 6.5%, and 1.8% respectively. Looking at states in our next slide, the top 10 outdoor recreation states in 2023 all held their top 10 positions in 2024, with Georgia and Ohio swapping places. The top states ranged from California with $87.9 billion in value added to Colorado with $18.1 billion. The top growing states ranged from Massachusetts, growing at 6.9%, close to 3 times the US rate of 2.4%, to North Dakota, growing at 5.5%, more than twice the US rate. Now, in addition to looking at size and growth rates, our next slide is interesting to look at because it has the outdoor recreation as a share of each state's economy. we see high shares in dark blue in Alaska and Hawaii, the Mountain West states, New England, and Florida, as well as Indiana, where a majority of RVs are manufactured in Elkhart County. The top state was 0.1% of its economy related to outdoor recreation, and the lowest number was in DC with 1%. The overall US share was 2.4%. Looking at growth across the dozen years for which BEA has outdoor recreation, those are the years 2012 to 2024 now, outdoor recreation grew 84% from $0.7 trillion to $1.3 trillion in gross output, that sales type number. Adjusting for inflation, real gross output grew 43% from $0.7 billion in 2012 to just under 1 trillion in 2024. The last slide that I have is a slide that shows how to contact us, contact me, if you have any additional questions. All of the data that I mentioned are available on BEA's website, along with a wealth of other regional, national, and industry data. And if you have any questions about the data, please feel free to contact me at outdoorrecreation@bea.gov. Thank you, and back to you, Jess.
Thank you so much. We so appreciate the work that goes into this every year, and we're so thrilled to get these 2024 numbers, to see our growth and resiliency as an industry. So thanks to you and your team for the deep work that goes into this and the commitment to performing all the work that goes into getting our numbers. I now am really excited to hand it over to Twanmoh, head of brand engagement at AllTrails. AllTrails is doing amazing work across the board to get more people engaged, get more people outside. And Kai's here to tell us a little bit about what we saw in 2024, leading up into 2025, and of course, what we're seeing today in 2026 with some real-time data. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Jess. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm Twanmoh from AllTrails, like Jess said. If you don't know us, we're the leading app for outdoor exploration. We help tens of millions of people find trails and get outside. And what we see today from our members is that people want to be outside. Demand for outdoor experiences continues to grow. The interest is there. The participation is there. AllTrails members spent 75% more time outdoors in 2025 versus 2024. And that's the highest growth rate we've seen since 2020, when the pandemic drove the incredible surge in outdoor participation that we all remember. We honestly expect 2026 is going to be even bigger as more people step away from their screens and the news cycle. We are predicting new highs for outdoor recreation interest and growth. As a company that's at the intersection of tech and the outdoors, data is at the core of how we operate, how we build our products, how we serve our members, how we make the case that this space deserves attention and investment. And we say this all the time internally, but it's equally true externally and across sectors. We can't move what we can't measure. That's why the BEA data release today matters so much. When there are rigorous federal numbers behind the outdoor economy, especially numbers that are as meaningful as 1.3 trillion in economic output and 5.2 million jobs, that gives all of us a shared foundation that we can build on. We are incredibly bullish about a future where every American gets to experience the benefits of time outside. Better personal health and well-being, healthier environments, better stewardship of our public lands and waters, and ultimately greater joy in the outdoor community. At the end of the day, that is what we're here to create. That future is enabled by a thriving outdoor economy. And with data like this to guide us, I am confident and excited that we can build it together. So it's my pleasure now to pass it to Dr. Nathan Rigner, Director of Outdoor Recreation with the Pennsylvania Office of Outdoor Recreation and Chair of the Confluence of States.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning. And while I do want to take a minute to celebrate the growth of our outdoor recreation industry here in Pennsylvania, having added $1.5 billion to our gross domestic product and 9,000 jobs for Pennsylvanians. What I'd really like to share with you today is the perspective of the confluence of states and state offices of outdoor recreation across the country. The United States has 24 states with established offices of outdoor recreation, whose missions are to grow their outdoor recreation industries, develop their outdoor economies, and deliver the benefits of outdoor recreation for health and well-being, conservation and stewardship, and community development. States, states are responsible for a toolkit connected to outdoor recreation. That includes the business support programs that are of direct benefit to our outdoor recreation businesses, investments in economic and community development, workforce development programs, as well as administration of our healthcare and education systems, all of which both benefit from and support our outdoor recreation industry, both in the United States and particularly at the state level. These data from the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis are absolutely vital to our in-state understandings of our outdoor recreation industries, what that means for business growth and job creation. And we're very appreciative and thankful for the Bureau of Economic Analysis, the Department of Commerce, to devote so much attention to this data. So in addition to those thanks for the BEA, the Confluence of States, we'd also like to thank the Outdoor Recreation Roundtable for hosting this event and helping all members of the outdoor recreation and economic development community around the country know and leverage this very valuable data. Thank you for letting me share these thoughts with you here this morning. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Glenn Hughes, President of the American Sportfishing Association. Glenn, the floor is yours.
Thanks so much, Nathan. And thank you to the BEA and their staff for the new report, and for all of you joining us today. As you've just heard, growth in the 2024 numbers showing 2.4% of the GDP, 5.2 million jobs, and 1.3 trillion in economic impact is a testament to the Americans still wanting to spend their time and money recreating outdoors. And our respective industries will continue to work harder and smarter to provide quality outdoor recreation products and services, while also trying to run profitable businesses amidst tariffs, high interest rates, and increased costs. I believe this data provides us a tremendous insight and opportunity to make an impact on the health and well-being of all Americans. And it's going to take all of us. Everyone needs to get engaged. Check out the ORR website at outdoorrecreation.org and review all the great content and ask questions and get involved. If your state doesn't already have an Office of Outdoor Recreation, get with the ORR staff and let's work towards changing that. There's also much more work to be done regarding improving our infrastructure and innovation and modernization, and we need to make it easy. Take away excuses and show how much fun you can have when you recreate outside. You can count on ORR to continue to lead the coalition of organizations to advance and grow the outdoor recreation economy for the benefit of all Americans. We will act on the most pressing issues facing the future of outdoor recreation and support conservation efforts and ensure quality access. We will bring the industry, the government, and all of the stakeholders together and gather the best data, share information, identify opportunities, and solve problems. And you can be sure we will advocate for advancing sound trade policy, thriving state economies, and healthy, resilient communities. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Jess.
Thanks to Glenn and all of our speakers. Another special thanks to BEA, STAS. We're really excited about the new numbers and know that the outdoor recreation economy will continue to grow jobs, local communities, rural economies. We're also so interested in the health connection, mental, physical, and societal health that outdoor recordings. So stay tuned as we roll out more on that front and more interesting data over the coming days. We're just now diving into the many resources that BEA provides through segment data and state data on the recreation economy. So feel free to reach out for questions and stay tuned as we roll out all of this additional data. Thank you again to the OR members who make all of this possible and support the 110,000 American businesses that make up this incredible outdoor recreation economy. We so appreciate everyone for joining us, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.